All right. That was Amon Amarth, Twilight of the Thunder God. And we've been talking about jerks with high-powered rifles. And there really isn't anything else to call this dentist that shot the lion. I mean, I use the word asshole. That's too strong. If everybody's... he's a jerk. I mean, he's kind of like... He looks to me like an evil nerd. He didn't spend his childhood watching professional wrestling or reading comics. He spent his time as a child whacking flies with rulers and pulling their wings off. That's basically this guy. And, he shot a lion before he, beat up his girlfriend or something like that. A jerk, okay?
A jerk with money.
He'd be a jerk with or without. I mean, just because he yanks out a bunch of teeth and he fooled Cecil the lion into thinking that he was going to pull his tooth. Instead, he stabbed him and shot him in the head.
Yeah. I mean, got nothing better to do with
and
it,
repeating,
so.
like I say, this is the late breaking news only on the Haunted Cabaret that Cecil the lion had a toothache. He wasn't pursued. He came to Dr. Palmer with a dental problem. A dental problem, and for his trust in this dentist, this psychotic dentist, Cecil the lion met his doom. Okay, now that's enough of that. The other thing I wanted to bring up, which one thing leads to another here on the Cabaret sometimes, is a TV show called Zoo. Now, Chuckles, you said you're not familiar with this yet, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I wish my girlfriend was still here, but there she is. Yeah, Zoo. Right. You like it? I do. Yeah. Zoo is on. It's a new weekly show on Tuesday, 9 p.m. on CBS. Which is actually a good thing. It's been a long time since there's been a horror-themed program, other than vampires and zombies. A straight horror-themed program on one of the big four networks. So that in itself is a good thing. And what it involves, and it's a perfect segue from a show dedicated to Cecil the Lion, because Zoo involves the revolt of the world's animals against humanity.
Nice.
Yeah, you don't get segues like this by accident. There's some kind of karma at work here. And like I say, the girlfriend likes it. Several other people like it. Myself, I'm a little lukewarm on it. But I think the problem is it's not the show itself, but it's been done before. I'm thinking about, and since we're celebrating nerdhood here on the show, this week on both the Haunted Cabaret and Chuckles' Crypt. I can think of a B movie from back in the late 70s called Day of the Animals. So Chuckles, does that ring a bell?
Yes, I remember.
Vaguely in the past, right?
Parts of that movie.
Yeah, my favorite part about that movie was the promotional line. Now it's their turn. Day of the Animals. And if I'm not mistaken, it showed a lion leaping out of the poster.
All right,
so
that sounds good.
It doesn't get better, I'll tell you, as far as segues. But yeah, Day of the Animals. And then if you go back before that, I'll recommend to everyone out there that still believes in the written word, there was a story by a writer called Arthur Machen back in the late 19th century called The Terror. And this Arthur Machen, he was a writer very much admired by H.P. Lovecraft. He was a big influence on Lovecraft. And Machen's story, The Terror, is about a revolt of the world's animals as a result of all the hatred that polluted the world's spiritual environment during World War I. And it drove all the animals of the world mad because they couldn't handle the level of hatred that was being given off by mankind, which I think is an awesome idea. I don't know what the punchline is going to be in Zoo. I think in Zoo it's going to be a disease, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Not paying attention.
No.
You're already zoned out.
Yes, I am. But I think in Zoo that it's going to be a new disease that, just like in the zombies, it's always these days it's always a genetic thing, like a biohazard. So yeah, it'll be a disease that sends the animals crazy.
So it's going to affect every animal, this disease. So it's a
Zoo, every animal, or is it just cats, lions, and tigers and bears? Every animal. So it starts out with the obvious, but then it's going to be all of them.
Wouldn't that affect us as well, being animals? That virus?
It's getting there.
Okay, so it's a one of those super viruses that's going to wipe out everything.
Yeah, a mother cell has been invented, so it's got promise. It
does.
Yeah, but like I say, but I also like the idea, the Arthur Machen story from back when, the idea of human hatred polluting the spiritual universe and driving everything else to violence.
Oh, that sounds good.
Doesn't it?
It does sound like a good... We're going to have to watch that Tuesday. You're going to have to allow that in the insane asylum, 9 o'clock. Don't dope me up earlier than that. I want to see it.
9 o'clock is pill time, so while we're digesting our pills, we'll watch this and ease into our sleep.
Zoo and the Supercell.
Got to watch this. Maybe we'll catch up on some of this when we go home.
Well, you'll probably be able to catch... I don't know, have they...
We'll check if Hulu has
if they've archived
or if it's on demand.
It's pretty new. There's only a few episodes so far, right?
It might be on demand.
Yeah,
we'll check it out. Sounds like a good flick.
Yeah, but you can, like I say, you can jump in. It's it's not like you need.
Oh, it's not super plotty. So
no,
you can
it's just
kind of.
Well, yeah. Basically, that's what put me off on it a little because it's very episodic. In other words, it's kind of like when you have, a B horror movie, or Friday the 13th when there's little vignettes of horror. And then there's like a main character threading through it.
Oh,
but it keeps going on side trips to show, okay, this person torn apart or this person attacked. Then it goes back to the laboratory. It's basically a straightforward old school horror format.
It sounds good.
It is. It's entertaining. Like I say, the only reason I'm having a little trouble is because it's familiar to me. I've just seen it before. But I think the people that are enjoying it most are not the hardcore horror fans. In other words, if you haven't seen a lot of the same thing before, you will really like it. So, yeah, Chuckles, and it is worth checking out.
Animals mutilating people, I always enjoy
that alone. Yeah, that alone. And
Faces
like I say,
of death, that's always entertaining. Especially one of my favorites when the guy's parachuting out of the air and he lands in the alligator pond, and the guy's still recording the whole thing.
I can't believe that it slipped my mind. But yes, for everybody that's enraged by The Dentist and the Lion saga, go dig up or dredge up, because it's that kind of low entertainment. Dredge it out of the swamp of human creativity and watch Chuckles, Faces of Death. There's like 2 or 3 editions, right?
Yeah, they are good movies. There's nothing like a good old-fashioned realistic animal mauling to get you going.
Yeah, if you want to see human beings, and this is real footage, right? All real footage. If you want to see human beings meet their doom in really graphic, entertaining ways, by alligator, by, I don't know.
Gunshots, jumping off roofs, you name it.
I think there was some guy who's, if I remember, his parachute didn't open?
Yep,
and he did a splat. Yeah, if you want to see people splatted, alligator devoured, check out Faces of Death. That's the big recommendation this week from the Haunted Cabaret. And Chuckles the Clown, of course.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll tell you, once you start thinking, there's a warm glow. Actually, maybe it's just this Corona I drank, but I was going to say that a warm glow of nostalgia is enveloping me for Day of the Animals and Faces of Death, and it's anything that human beings being destroyed in graphic. It's just I just feel like basking in a warm sun, and just watch. Maybe I'll dig out, maybe in honor of Roddy Piper and pro wrestling the way it's supposed to be. Maybe when I get home tonight, I'll dig out my ECW bloodiest matches.
There you go.
I'll tell you, that's another. If you really have given up hope in the human condition, watch Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk show you to what gruesome depths that we can sink to for entertainment. Not since the Christians versus the Lions.
Or my good friend Primetime Brian Lee.
See, all we do is mention ECW and Tony Jones pipes in.
Ridiculous amounts of tables set up. Now, this is when ECW was first getting its start. They were still doing bingo halls. So I just picture them renting out this bingo hall and then setting up scaffolding and about a dozen tables, and Primetime Brian Lee goes through
Was
said
it Brian
tables.
Lee that set up that record number of tables? Because I remember that it was like a ziggurat pyramid of tables. Was that him? Because I was going to give the credit to the Dudley Boys, but no, right?
Yeah, I think that was him.
Okay. But check out some ECW fan shot footage of the good old days back in the bingo hall. Although I'll tell you, WW, and again, I'm going to say WWF because the best stuff took place before they changed that last letter. I think if you actually, if I actually had to come down to it, though, I would take the WWF hardcore over the ECW hardcore most of the time. It had a certain style to it that ECW didn't. You know, ECW was maybe the Ramones' first album, and then WWF was maybe Rocket to Russia. You know, still, you know, good stuff, just a little bit more style. All right, let's go back to, speaking of Ramones, you know, I don't have the Ramones on the list this week, but let's get back to the music at least. We'll bring some Ramones next show. All right, you know,
Another great segue.
I'll tell you another great segue. Yeah, especially if we reference back to the idiot with the high-powered rifle and the lion again. This, by the time they get done with this man, yes, he's going to need a lot of lawyers, guns, and money to get out of this one. Warren Zevon here on the Haunted Cabaret, Rhode Island Free Radio.
Yeah, isn't Bob like ordering
They want him back.
He's already.
Yeah.
I went home with the waitress, the way I always do. How was I to know she was with the Russians too? I was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Dad, get me out of this. Ha! I'm the innocent bystander. Somehow I got stuck between the rock and the hard place, and I'm down on my luck. Yes, I'm down on my luck. Well, I'm down. I'm hiding in Honduras. I'm a desperate man. Send lawyers, guns, and money. This shit has hit the fan. All right, send lawyers, guns, and money. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Send lawyers, guns, and money.